Welcome to Dittofi. My name is Ugo and I'm a solutions architect for Dittofi. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use path variables when navigating from a page to another page. So I'm going to be using the Abuja Directories application. As you can see, I created a new button called Test Path Variables. So the next step is to create a page. So we just create a simple page to test using path variables on Dittofi. So we'll rename this page Test Path Variables. And then we have to decide the variable name that we're going to pass to this page. So let's update the slug. Then now this is important. In order to pass a path variable, the actual variable has to start with a colon and then the name of the variable. So we're going to use colon and then we're going to call it test variable. Now this colon is going to be replaced with the actual variable that is passed to this page, the actual variable value that is passed to this page. So if you want to pass like the ID of a record in a database, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these variables are going to be replaced when the user navigates to this page. So the next step is to open the drop down, the page variables drop down, and then add a path that is going to be matching the variable that we defined in the slug. And then the kind is going to be a number because I want to pass a number. We'll hit save. Then we hit save again. And then we want to render, to show that it works, we want to render the path variable in this page. So I'm just going to add some simple elements and add some basic styling. So container, and then we'll add a heading. Let's cut this, paste it inside. Page variable is, copy the heading, then paste after. Oh, and let's cut this. I'll have to paste inside the div. All right, let's add some basic styling. Let's reduce the font size, and then let's use the data from. So page, the test variable data. So if the page variable is 1 or 2 or 3, this value, this initial default value, will be replaced with the page variable value. So the next step is to create a front-end action. So we'll have to create a front-end action to manage navigation. So we can call it go to test path page. We click enter. So let's just define a variable. Let's call it random variable. It's going to be a number. Let's give it 3. Let's click save. All right. So, but usually we can pass an input variable, which is a value that is gotten from the front end. So like when the user clicks a button, we can get the value from the database and pass it to this front end action. But to make this call easier, we're going to just use a local variable that we create in the front end action. And then we go to navigation, we click on open page. Then we select the page, test path variables. Then we pass the variable we just created to it. Click OK. So we hit the back button. Then we go to the home page where we defined the button to navigate us to the page. So click on run action. Then we click on what do we call it? Go to test path page. All right, then we build the code. So this shouldn't take up to 2 minutes. Let's just patient. So basically what we did, just to recap, is to define a button called test path variables on the home page. The test path variables will navigate us to the page that we just created using a path variable. So let's test this quickly. So click on the preview button. All right, so we're going to click on the test path variables. So as you can see, it took us to the test path variables page, replacing the variable name with the value we want to pass to the page. And as you can see, this was, we were able to get the value from the URL. That was the variable definition of the URL. And the value that we passed was 3, and you can see it's rendered here. So in order to recap, the purpose of this video is to show you how to use path variables when moving from a page to another page. So the first step was to define a button, and then we created a page that we want to be accessed using a path variable. So the path variable, we called it test variable, and in order to define a path variable, it has to be prefixed with a colon, and then we create a page variable here, test variable, and the name has to match with what we have in the URL. And so then we created a page called test path variables. In this page, I try to demonstrate how to get the path variable from the URL, and we use the use data from Dittofi tool to get the information from the page. And then the final step was to create a front-end action to help us navigate to the page. So we call the front-end action go to test page. We can call it any name you want. And then we use the open page event, and we pass the path variable, the value for the path variable we want to pass to the page. So the value, we use a local variable called random variable with a value 3. You can as well use an input variable by passing the information from a repeating action, or from a variable that you define from app variable. You can pass it using the input variable, and then we built the code, and here is the result. Thank you for watching.